Okay, we shall start with each one of them. So when I give a particular thing, I am telling you in common ways, in the sense that it applies to all students. Because we are not doing, they are called secrets because these are not used anywhere in the world by any student. Okay, so you have to think about how I can apply it. If you have doubts about that, you can ask me. Okay, but each secret you will have to at least jot down that in first secret, not what I have told, but how it applies to you, how it will benefit you. So today, end of the day, I want each of you to solve all problems. You must comfortably say, not to me, but to yourself, that all my study related problems I will solve. So from now onwards, anything I study, I know how to study. Okay? Shall we start? These are the basic things that we are getting into. Totally 59 secrets are there. All these can be summarized under these major headings. We are talking about memory, the whole process of memory, how it takes place, how exactly it will be used this. All of us have excellent memory, but unfortunately we don't know how to use it, especially when it comes to studies. So this will give you hint about how to use it in studies, so that you will know how exactly to use. Then concentration once again, how exactly to use that concentration. Then reading ability. This also I will deal with a little, because reading is also one way of receiving information. As students, there are two things we are doing, reading as well as listening. Okay, so both are equally essential for us to know. Okay. Then writing ability. So this you have asked, and this will be dealing with how exactly to write. Not only in examination but also elsewhere. Whenever we write, we must not make a single mistake. That is never been taught. People are more bothered about handwriting rather than your skill in writing something. Okay. Then a lot of study habits will be given. So what you should do and what you should not do. What you should not do is more than what you should do. Because we are doing unnecessary things. It is taxing us. It is coming in the way of our efficiency. And we are unnecessarily doing so many things, because everybody comes and, because in this area anybody becomes an expert. And they will tell whatever they feel is okay. They are not bothered whether it works or not. They have not scientifically tested it. They have not done research on that. Which is where it may help you, it may not help you. Okay, it's just like, let us say, headache. The moment you say you have a headache, everybody on earth will start telling you to do something. Somebody will say, take this thing and then put it. Somebody else will say, you have to drink something. So one thing or the other they will tell. First of all, they don't even know why headache has come. They don't want. For headache to come, there may be something wrong in the cardiovascular system, or the digestive system, or circulatory system, or musculoskeletal system. Anybody who talks about headache doesn't even know that there is something wrong in this system. Headache is not a problem, headache is a symptom. Are you following this? But unfortunately, people think a symptom is a problem. The body has to communicate to us. How does it communicate? It communicates to us through pain. Because of the pain, we will know that there is something wrong. Just because headache is there, the problem may not be in the head itself. The problem may be in one of these systems. Okay, for instance, somewhere you go and eat a lot, that day you get headache. Or sometimes if you go without eating, for instance, one meal you skip, you will have severe headache. So it is something to do with the digestive system. So if I am just putting something to the head, this problem will not go away. Are you following this? So unfortunately, people do not distinguish any pain, for instance, fever, for instance. The moment a person gets fever, everybody is bothered about bringing down the fever. Actually, fever is indicating that there is something wrong in the body. Bringing down the fever is ridiculous, because actually you have to take care of the problem. The fever will automatically come down. But people are more bothered about putting, a wet cloth over you, then trying to make you more cold. That is not the problem. Problem lies elsewhere. So which is why only a doctor can diagnose it properly. Suppose you go with a headache, a doctor looks at it a totally different way rather than a lay person. But lay persons are so forthcoming with their suggestion, they will tell whatever comes to their mind, and they will enforce you to do it, saying that okay, it worked for me and it should work for you. So by coincidence it may have worked, by accident it may have worked, but they are not sure thing. Okay. So many a times, even in medical profession, mistake is done where only a painkiller is given for a problem. Any pain is there, it's indicative of a problem somewhere else. So painkiller is for a temporary relief. But just because a doctor prescribed a painkiller, people don't bother about the problem. They will think that painkiller, pain will go. So they keep on getting addicted to painkiller only. This painkiller will help you for a while. After that, body gets used to that. So gradually what happens is that even the painkiller will not help you. Are you following this? So any problem that we have is a symptom. It's not actually a problem. So when I say 100 problems, all these 100 problems I have outlined is symptoms only of some other underlying problem. As specialists, we know where the problem is. So if your memory problem is there, memory problem is not a problem. Memory problem is a symptom of a problem which indicates that your analysis is not, your processing is not okay. Concentration is not a problem. Concentration is a symptom of a problem. Are you following this? So which is where we actually get into the crux of the matter and solve it there so that this problem will not come. Clear? And getting most information in the classroom, because most of our waking life is spent in the classroom. Unfortunately, I feel that our benefit from the investment is very little. We spend at least 6 hours a day in the class, yes? Are we getting 6 hours of information into us? No. Many times not even 6 minutes of information we have. So, whole of a student's life is wasted according to me. Right from first standard if you take, forget LKG, UKG. Right from first standard, you are spending 15 years into classroom. 15 years of information should be colossal. But we have nothing to show. Because we don't know how to listen. We don't know how to get the best out of the class. If you are able to get the best out of the class, you don't need to read anything, you don't need to study at all. That itself is enough, more than enough. But because we don't know, we just physically are there. We are actually not studying anything. Okay? So some of these secrets will help you to actually get the best out of it. That substituted by your own study will definitely make you an expert in what you are studying. Because even I used to tell my students that by the end of this year, you must know more than what I do in this subject. So suppose I am teaching abnormal psychology, we have a paper called psychopathology, okay, where we talk about all the psychological disorders. So it's a tough subject, just like a medical subject, it's a tough subject. We also use difficult spelling like schizophrenia, etc. So I used to tell them, before the end of this year, you must know as much as I do, or if possible more than me. That should be the target for every student. Every class that you go to, you must be thinking that I should know more than this teacher is knowing. But that is not the thing. Because most of the students go saying that let me not know everything, just let me know to pass the exam. But they will not understand that if we do that way, next exam is going to become much more difficult for us. In whatever we do, we need to be efficient in what we do. Okay? Not just a player in what we do. Okay?